single-use, no other uses, no sublets, single pipe diameter, all these things, there are 41 issues in a pipeline easement. They will hand you a single piece of paper and say, here's a pipeline easement, grants the right of way. No. There is money in that easement. There's economic power in that easement that you're giving up. And you don't have to give up a 50-foot right of way for a gathering line. They can do it in 15 to 20 feet width. For 6-inch line, 4-inch line, you know, 50 feet. And by the way, you should pay annually, and you should have a plan when they're done to take it out and restore the property. And they're not going to be able to do that unless you get a bond in place. Because this lease, and that pipeline easement is going to change hands. And we do not release the company who assigns it, we do not release them from their obligation. So every time they sign, another person becomes liable to do what's required under that pipeline easement. Do not neglect these. There is money in these. For instance, I represented a group last year. They signed a pipeline easement, actually it's almost a year and a half ago now, in Groom County. 9 miles worth of pipeline easement, the group, within the regular special group. Instead of a perpetual pipeline easement, we gave them a 20-year easement with a 20-year renewal. The first 20 years was $55 a running foot, and the second was $65 the second 20 years. And at the end of 40 years, that pipeline's got to come out, but they have to renew. Where did I get this idea? This is what the federal government does in the West, under federal lands. This is what the Indian tribes do in the West. So why should we give a perpetual easement for a pipeline? We shouldn't. And by the way, a gathering line cannot be taken in New York State by eminent domain. A gathering line from the well to the lake or to a transmission pipeline cannot be taken by eminent domain. If you give it up in the lease, you've given up $55 a running foot for 20 years and $65 a running foot for the next 20 years. Okay? That's a lot of money. Think about that. You got 2,000 feet of right of way. Multiply that by 55 and see what you get. That's no small change. And then you get another 20 years later. Now this is something you don't want to give up. Thoughts to remember.